right, the Three of Wands. All right. So what are we expecting, Virgo? What have we been manifesting? What have we been trying to create in our lives here? I kind of get this feeling with the Three of Wands. You've already sent out a message or something to somebody. You're waiting for a response. You're trying to see where things are going to lead. But I feel like you're still doing you. You're not stopping at any point. You're just kind of waiting for the returns to come in. Let's see what you guys have manifested. Well, the Seven of Pentacles. Whatever you guys have been reevaluating. I think there's some things that definitely that may have changed, or maybe there was a certain focus and you changed. Maybe you guys were even doubting the relationship for a second there. Some things about the relationship, some of the dynamics, the work that you've been putting in, you may not have been feeling it, seeing it come through, and now you've been like, I feel like you've shifted your focus or maybe found a new strategy, because the Seven of Pentacles talks about reevaluating what maybe you need to do, or maybe what the relationship needs to, how the relationship needs to go in order for there to be progress made. And I kind of get the feeling with the Three of Wands, there have been a lot of work. It may be in the beginning stages, but you're waiting for the return to come in, right? So the Knight of Pentacles, feeling pretty solid, feeling pretty independent, not needing nobody, which is great. But at the same time, I kind of get this feeling that there is something here that's very exclusive to just you, right? The Knight of Pentacles can indicate there's a gilded cage here. An unwillingness to break from this sort of comfortable zone. This is a comfort zone, right? A comfort zone in which you work very hard to finalize and to perfect. And it isn't a perfect place. It's really good. You feel really good about yourself. You feel really good about your work, about, your lifestyle, the people around you. You feel pretty good about what you've established for yourself regarding stability, comfort, and so forth. But either you guys are feeling bored, you guys are either, in a gilded cage at this moment. And it's not necessarily because, you guys are being unreasonable or anything like that. But I feel like it's just that you are in control of your circumstances, and it's not something that you're willing to compromise. You're not interested in compromising, so either a sense of control, stability, some sort of security here. I think there's something going on where maybe even the relationship that you're currently in, if you are in one, you may be feeling very alone, right? Because it may be that you've been, been given things from your partner, or maybe your partner only pays attention to you at certain times, but you truly feel single in the relationship, and that's something that you don't really want to feel, right? Because I kind of get this vibe that with the Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, that the situation, it acts almost like a business partnership. Some of you guys, it may be feeling like you guys are, just not necessarily just feeling coupley. You're feeling very solo. But at the same time, you're not necessarily too upset about it because you still have control of the situation. So either this is you or the other person. It doesn't have to be you. It could be that someone else is very controlling and it's isolating, right? Because it could be that you don't have a lot of options, or you don't really feel like you're in control of anything other than yourself. And that's still very isolating, because you may as well be single if you can't really feel like you can be yourself. Okay? Now, I'm going to possibly clarify some cards here, actually. Why is the Nine of Pentacles even coming up for the heart of the reading for Virgo? It's not a bad card. Nine of Pentacles usually isn't. But with the Devil coming up in the external energy and the Emperor, what's happening? Why is the Nine of Pentacles coming up in the heart of the reading for Virgo? The World. So something has completed itself. It's an evolution, though. It's a good card to get. You got two good cards. So there's something that may have completed itself. You're like ready. You feel good. You feel really solid. You feel really stable. You're probably bored, though, because whatever this was, right, you've already celebrated. You already completed it. You've already evolved from it. So it's like, what do you do now? Are you ready to take the next step? And I feel like y'all are. I feel like you guys are. Even though it was probably really difficult in the past to make the decision to do it, right? To go ahead and make something happen. Now, like I said, some of y'all may be feeling real single right now, and it's because you probably are single. And it's not a bad thing. I feel like this is like an empowering singleness, not necessarily like a sad one. But I feel like you guys are definitely feeling your energy, right? Feeling in the sense of stable, solid on your own. Like there's nothing here saying that you're not stable and solid on your own. But I do get the feeling that you guys want some excitement, something new, something going on, because you got the 3 of Wands. You're expecting something. You're waiting for something. So what is it that you're waiting for? Well, whatever it was difficult to decide on what it was that you needed to do. Whether this was communicated truth, open your heart, or say something that may have needed to be said from the beginning. But maybe love was the blind part, right? The feeling that you got was enough to keep you from speaking your truth in the past, but it had to be said. Whatever it was, you said it. You're open about it, and you've definitely laid your feelings out on the table. And you've taken control of your life with the Emperor. Now, this could be you. Now, if this is not you, right? If you're not necessarily feeling Emperor energy, it could be somebody else. Maybe somebody else has definitely, stepped in, been more domineering in the sense of knowing what they want, very directional, very plan oriented. But I kind of get the vibe that this is you, Virgo. You're taking control of your circumstances, of your element, of your, surroundings. No one else has that real control other than you. But the devil showing up in the external energy, which I do want to clarify, and that's really an interesting card to get there, because there could be that there's some things that maybe you may feel trapped in, or maybe there's certain practices or behaviors that don't necessarily allow the beautiful flourishing of your energy to completely, come out, if that makes sense. There's something that's restricting you. There's some things here that may be highly obsessed over. Maybe there's somebody around here that's obsessed with you, and you're like, well, I want to do my own thing. I don't know about this. Maybe you're recognizing this toxic situation from outside of before you even get into it. But I really want to take a closer look at it before I go ahead and give you an idea of what that is, right? But I kind of get this feeling that mostly what I'm getting from the devil and the Emperor together, usually I read these two as the same thing. This is internal, this is external energy. Kind of get a feeling that there's control issues here. So I'm getting some sort of issues of control issues. Not necessarily like a bad thing, but somebody is more inclined to do something because they have the reins of the situation. They don't want to do anything that compromises their kind of security of what they can do with the situation, right? If they don't have total control, it's probably a no-go. But we'll see. But I truly feel like if this is you, Virgo, I do really feel like it's you feel more empowered. You feel more in control of yourself. You're definitely dictating what you will and will not do. You're not going to let anybody tell you how you're going to live your life, how you're going to do something. But it also means that you have an idea what you're going for, an idea what you're after. Perhaps this is someone that is a little bit more set in their beliefs, set in what they want, that's structured and able to kind of take action and do things. But you have the King of Cups in the future. And this is total polar opposite. But even though both parties are very yang energy, the King of Cups is very much passive, right? So he's always feeling, he's always dreaming, but he knows what he wants and he knows what he needs to feel to be able to manifest what he wants. But I feel like most importantly, this is the ideal lover, right? This is the person that is very romantic. This person has no problem expressing their emotions and expressing their dreamy way of expressing love, right? So I'm going to see, why is the King of Cups coming up in the future? That's not a bad card. I feel like either you guys become way more romantic, or there's somebody that comes in to offer you some cup of love, right? Someone that communicates to you how they truly feel. Someone that has no problem with communicating how they feel. They may even wear their heart on their sleeves. And if this person is coming to you because you're showing such strong energy, like this person, the devil may not even be anything toxic. There may not even be control issues. This person may just be drawn to you. Maybe you feel like there's a tie between you and this individual, because that could indicate that too. But let's see what the King of Cups is coming up as. Why is the King of Cups coming up in the future? Or who is the King of Cups? Why is the King of Cups coming up in the future, and who's the King? Oh, you got 3 cards here, and I'm gonna keep all 3. I'm gonna keep all 3. Okay. So you guys have the 4 of Swords, and that's in your hopes and fears. The Ace of Cups, and that's the new love I was telling you about, and the Empress. Now that is literally the Emperor's Bay. Like, let's be honest. That's his little wifey. okay? But anyway, she ain't little, but she's pretty doggone awesome herself. But this energy tells me that there is somebody that may come into the future, or you have someone in mind that is already your ideal person, and you may either extend that offer to someone else, or this person comes and extends that offer to you. But I feel like with you embodying Emperor energy, it may be you that communicates to this person how you truly feel, and in a way, it opens up the door to feeling good and emotional healing. Okay. The King of Cups is a healer. The Ace of Cups is a healing card, and the Four of Swords is a healing card. The Empress is also about taking care of the self. Is a very nurturing energy, right? She's very good at taking care of herself, just as well as she's good at taking care of children, taking care of people. And I feel like this energy here, this person is really good at either making you feel loved, it's good at taking care of you, or maybe allowing you to be more passive, to at least just be, not necessarily take action and take control all of the time. Because whatever this Emperor energy is, you've been taking a lot of control, right? You've been taking control of your life, taking control of whatever you feel like you need to take control of. Some of you guys may have been initiating a lot more sex, right? You may have known what you guys want, and maybe you're expecting to have some sort of news from a doctor saying that you guys have decided, that you guys are expecting. Some of you guys may be trying to have children. The only card I would, that I'm missing out of that is the Sun, which would definitely tell me, okay, maybe this baby's just coming in the mix. Some of you guys have been trying, there's potential here. But the Ace of Cups and the Four of Swords to me is resting and healing and allowing, and feeling love, right? And going after your ideal. Creating abundance is the Empress card too. And with the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like they're very similar in energy. They may not be exactly the same, but they are definitely similar. And that in the sense of taking care of one another, taking care of each other, and creating abundance. Okay? Taking care of themselves, taking care of others, taking care of their needs, taking care of their business, and creating a utopia is one of the biggest things. And I kind of get this feeling that if you're the Emperor, you're going to either meet your Empress by you communicating with you're going to know who this Empress is, if you don't know them already. That, or this is a healing of a relationship between someone that you already are deeply in love with. This could be someone that could be a Taurus energy or a Libra, but I kind of get this feeling that this energy that you guys have here in the future is somebody that either you already know, someone that you already because you deeply love, or someone that's extremely romantic. It could be a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio that could come into your life that has intense emotions, and they've gone through some things where they needed to heal, and they're taking a chance and opening to new love as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So without that being said, why you got the King of Pentacles in your best path to follow. Now, the King of Pentacles has no issues with committing to things because he's able to take his time to review something that will determine whether or not it has enough, whether it is valuable enough for him to pursue, to commit to, and to take time to grow. And I kind of get this feeling the King of Pentacles is someone that's committed already. There's someone that's like, it's about when the advice comes up for him, or when he comes up in the best path to follow, it's almost like it's saying that the value of something is there. All there is needed now is commitment to it. Again, could be a Taurus, could be a Virgo, Capricorn, because you have double Taurus energy here. And the Empress is that card does belong to Taurus. It could be that you're dealing with a Taurus energy at this moment. But the King of Pentacles is always finding a solution to a situation. It's always seeing something from its value point and letting that be the focus as to why you want to pursue it. But the King of Pentacles, he doesn't just pick something because it's practically sound, but because either his moral standards match that too. I feel like with the King of Pentacles, he has earth, he's strong earth energy, but he has opinions on what is of value to him too. And I feel like if this is something that you see great value in, there isn't anything keeping you necessarily from going ahead and pursuing it. Let me go ahead and see why you guys have the King of Pentacles here. The King of Pentacles is the Hanged Man. So this hangman energy can talk about being stuck in limbo, seeing things from a different angles to a different perspective. So whatever you may have been holding out on, changing your perspective on, has to do with what either has to do with who you commit to, the person that you're in a commitment with. Okay, because the hangman is about letting go of one perspective and being open to another. So I kind of get this vibe that the hangman coming for the King of Pentacles is that, whatever change of heart that you may have, it's totally viable, it's totally fair. Whatever change of opinion that you have, that's a value. That's something that you can value, of course, right? Because it's your opinion. Let's see why we have the hangman coming up. Wow, okay, no hesitation. The hangman, the Four of Wands. Seeing the different perspective of a relationship. Some of you guys may be that, maybe you've committed to somebody before, you're liberated from that relationship. Maybe that's something that you come out of, maybe feel stronger, more, powerful in yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. But perhaps the situation, like I was saying before, may not be control issues, but that you're okay with doing things on your own and not needing anybody else or not wanting anybody else. There may be something here that's indicating that seeing relationships from a different perspective can broaden your already strong foundation, right? Teaming up with somebody else. And it may be that the situation here with the Two of Swords was so hard that it's difficult to even consider someone else. It's very difficult to even look at someone else because of everything that you've been through to make such a hard decision in the first place. Perhaps you've committed in the past and it was that you had to make this strong decision that makes you feel like, I'm good on my own. I don't need anybody else. And that's the guilty cage that you're looking at because you've already evolved from some sort of situation here. Even though it was liberating and it was empowering, it still was difficult to make. It was still a hard adjustment to kind of get used to, but you're used to it and you don't want to compromise that. Some of you guys, right? It may just be hard that you just come such a long way that being in this energy is something that is familiar. That's something that you can trust. But it can limit you. It can't. The devil is telling me that there may be limits that's being put on certain things. There's limitations. Limitations, not just from what you're doing, but from what you're not able to receive because you're so go, if that makes sense. And Leo got a card that talks about surrendering to non-action. I wonder if you guys might get the same thing because you guys have been so independent and so driven. Have you been able to allow things to come in? Have the Three of Wands, are you allowing things to come in? Like the Three of Wands doesn't necessarily just stop and let things come in, but have you been willing to receive stuff? That's the big important thing. Have you been willing to receive it because of what you may have done or maybe what you may have gone through in the past that makes it hard for you to want anything from anybody? Perhaps there may have been some sort of codependent energy in the past or codependent energy that you may be worried about, or maybe there's some sort of perspective from this, from how relationships have been in the past where somebody's been narcissistic, codependent, controlling, and you just don't know if this next individual coming in can be trusted in that regard, right? Because you can trust yourself. You're not going to put yourself in a corner. Some of you guys may be dealing with something like that. And I feel like with the Cups, the King of Cups, this person may rock your world. This person may present to you a new way of seeing love. But it comes from the perspective from you. It has to come from you. Well, it has to come from you. It has to be you that truly commits to it, right? Because this person can offer, but it doesn't mean you'll accept, right? And it can indicate that maybe there was a period between you and another individual that may need a break and to start something new. But the King of Pentacles is all about what you see as valuable and what are you willing to commit to. And if this is something that you can truly commit to based off of seeing a different perspective in regards to relationships. Let's go ahead and clarify the devil there in the external energy. Oh, wow, the King of Swords. The Devil and the King of Swords. The problem probably is that it's the... okay, so maybe something very similar to last week. With the King of Swords, he has no issues with cutting people off. He has no issues with standing his ground. The Devil is probably that you may feel connected to an Aquarius or feel connected to a Libra or Gemini. Someone that you feel a strong tie to. Someone that already knows who they are, who knows what they want, knows what they're going for. Now, at the same time, if this is you, it could be that the situation is hard to break the pattern of this feeling that you know everything. Now, the King of Swords, he doesn't ask questions. I don't see the King of Swords ever ask questions because he knows all the answers. He knows. That's the King of Wands. The King of Swords, he knows. Whatever he thinks, he can manifest. Whatever he has a strong boundary, fortress, or strong boundary system. There we go. And he's been through enough to know what he will and will not tolerate, what he will and will not do. He's not compromising in as far as belief systems, but he will not judge you for yours. And I kind of get this feeling that the Devil with the King of Swords could be that there was somebody that may have been very cold to you in the past. This could be that you've been dating an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and they weren't cold, but they have a strong connection to you, or maybe you feel very strong, have a strong connection with them. Or is that the situations with the Emperor is that you may feel like you know everything, therefore you don't need anything. Or perhaps you know everything and you want something, but the ideal of knowing everything keeps you from having things.